good.
Hello.
I finally leave.
Finally in the picture. So today's our last day. Do the intro.
Yep, down Geelong, last day. Just come from Blue Star Kitchen. Had 3 overhead cabinets which we need to infill this back wall.
Yes.
That was all prepared yesterday by Dad and myself. The reason we were short is because as we went down to Tasmania, we were stealing kitchen cabinets from everywhere and we got exposed down here. But now we've got everything down here. At least it takes about 7 minutes to build one of these. As soon as they're built, I'll hang them on the wall and we'll finish that today, because we've got to finish today. And my Lisa's busy doing that. I'm over at the sink. I've got to cut out the sink bench top. We've got all the bench tops on site. A bit technical. I want to just, first job of the day, focus on that to make sure I don't make any mistakes, because I have cut out corners in the past where radiuses were, and it looks terrible and ended up costing you a laminate bench top. But yeah, so last day of the day, broke its back. Be back in Tassie tomorrow.
Finally owing our factory a completed kitchen, so you'll see a lot of time lapse,
and stairs will be done today. You see the extra bit of timber I needed for the final handrail. I've got one bolt to put up there, and I've just got to alter the treads because they're just not 100% to code, and that'll happen in the afternoon. And then after all that, we've got to come back here tomorrow and wait for the boat, but maybe a few beers tomorrow to celebrate.
Yeah, tomorrow will be a nice rest day and packing up the ute to go back to Tassie.
And,
Back home again.
that's where we are today.
So time lapse now.